वो वीडियो बाद में कंपाइल होती है।
Okay.
Recording, it started now.
Okay. Good afternoon, Ji. In today's session, we are going to start our absence management setup, which we already discussed in our previous session. We did some setup things for our absence management. We did create the elements, you can say. We did create the element links, and based on the creation of the elements, and we created the input values, because element input values are linked with, you can say, with the element. We have to add the values for input values for the element, and based on that, once we create that element, every element is going to be attached with the some employees. So based on that, what we do, we did come to total compensation. Last time I'm going to start from there as well again, so we can see how many, you can say, that elements we have created. Because once we create our you can say all the elements in later stage, once we do that, currently what we will do, we will create 3 to 4 elements, and then based on that we will create the absence types. So once we will do that, what will happen, that as you see on the screen, we basically, yeah, we already created the annual leave. We already almost created a maternity, paternity, and marriage leave types. And now we will go through with the setup for a while, and then we will link those elements with the user. Basically, we will are going to attach them with the payroll and in the element link screen. And once we will whenever any employee is going to, you can say, create a leave from the leave type, then it will automatically come to the screen, to the employee screen, when we will do that. Let me just go through with the element which we created, the marriage leave. Okay, so we created this element with effect from 2nd April. Fine, non-recurring element, all those things, and we will see the classification are also fine. Everything is fine. So let me check. Mr. Ashtiaq, have you linked these elements in the element link screen?
No,
or
sir.
you just create the element?
No, sir. I just create element only.
Okay, let us check in the over here as well. So let me see. For example, I select this element. This is basically our element link screen, where we have to attach these elements with the payroll.
Okay.
So once we select the payroll which is created, we will go with the payroll as well, the later stage. And here the one thing which will be not fine, because we have to create okay, no problem, we will do that in later stage. Let me select another, which is paternity. Okay, we will create attach with the monthly payroll. We will click on save. We will select maternity, and we will attach with the monthly payroll. Okay, why it is showing here, you can say recurring. Okay, so mistakenly I think Mr. Ishaq created that maternity as a recurring. You can see here the processing type you selected here coming as a recurring, which you can say, as we discussed before, that that recurring elements are basically those elements which are going to be processed on a monthly basis. So basically, once we, let me check if it is working or not. I don't think so. Yeah, it is not working still. We can change it, but once that element has been created, there is no such kind of option that we can change this type. But let me try, because it's a parent-child relation. I will guide you about this as well, because now we already linked it with element link screen. So what we'll do, we'll first try to delete the element link first, and we will purge it, save it, and now we will try to change that option, which I have some doubt maybe it will work or not. We are on 2. Let us come on 2. So whenever you are doing any setup things, means when you are going to create any elements or element link or those, the setup things which I described you last time as well, most always use the first day of the month, as you see here. You get my point? The reason is because once you now you see that we create that element on 2nd April, which is not correct, because for example, now on the 1st of April, if anybody is going to try to find any maternity leave or any, you can say, paternity leave or any marriage leave is going to apply from 1st April to 3rd, he will not able to find it, because we create them it from the 2nd April. So it is not the exact date. Whenever the setup thing is going to be done, please make sure you have to be use the effective date. Now I think you already have a great and good concept about the effective date things, because as in HR, this is a very important part and very important topic on which we have to play and work all the time. So mostly in the setup part, we have to use the first day of every month. We cannot create from 15th or mid of the month, because the once it is going to be processed, because see, the point is element are the, you can say, payroll can only understand the language of elements. So elements, if payroll is going and the payroll is going to process on a monthly basis, so once the payroll is run, payroll will check from first day till the last day of the month. So once he will check from the processing type, the payroll will unable to find that element. And based on that, even as I said, when any employee is going to apply for any leave, he or she cannot find it because it is 2. So let me try to no, it will be not work. There another option is we can delete it completely. There is one option that is much better for us, because we will try to we have to work on this in future as well. So these are very important. So what you now you can see how I delete it. This
Sir,
is another topic which you saw. Yeah, please.
sir, permanently, if we delete permanently this leave, uh, other will be remain in
Element. It's not leave.
the, sorry, sorry, sir.
Yeah. Yes, please ask your question.
Okay, sir, if we delete this element, then other will be remain in the system, or those also?
Yes. Other big.
Okay.
No. See, we just saw, we searched the maternity
Maternity.
leave only.
Okay,
So
okay.
you saw that we just searched the maternity leave, and I just deleted that maternity leave, because why now? And I was just coming on that point, that see how we can delete it. Means on the setup side, when we are on a setup stage, we can create and delete those things. But once it is attached to the employee and the payroll also processed, then there is no chance to delete it. Then you can only end date. You can end date that element. So far, why I deleted, because we don't want to means make garbage data. We don't want to keep you can say the garbage data for our setup system. So that is related to our setup, na? Because we did that. So now you can see, because the two elements also which you created in your practice exercise, you created them from 2nd April. But I just ignored them. But this was basically the element which you created with effect from 2nd, and even it was recurring. So that was basically cannot be handled, because if you see in the document, all the elements are primary qualifications are information, and all are non-recurring. Because I described you the complete topic on non-recurring and recurring. By default, every element is non-recurring, you can see. So you click on here, then it become recurring. You get my point? And once you click on recurring, you even you see now the multiple entry allows also disabled. See, the system mostly done few things by itself. You see now. So these are the basically things. So let us create the maternity leave quickly, and then we will. I just copy paste the same lead into the reporting name, CCL, CCL, you can say, because we are in, as we discussed from day first, we are using the naming convention, and based on that, we are using CCL. I will select the primary classification, which is information. Thing. See, now I'm not changing anything. So let's first save this record on the 1st April, and then I am going to click on input values, and the same input values I'm going to create for, you can say, the maternity leave. And we quickly jump into the link section. Okay, let us see the document also, because once we will test all these leaves, and once we will go for the input values. After that, now I'm going to, so the record is saved and it is going to be worked is name, and unit will be day, database item, save the record. Another type will be hours.
Future.
I will select
Hours.
yeah, hours. and I will select R as our 2 decimal. I will also create a database item for that. And then I will create future one day. I will click on save. I
Sir,
will go for yeah.
sir, previously we didn't check database items for other elements. And why we are selecting now in this element database?
I will explain you. I will explain you about if we will check or not checking, that is not is going to affect anything, because the point is the why I'm checking right now and why I didn't check before, because these are, see, as in the system, basically in this maternity leave, what the value basically we are going to pick is days or maybe hours. But right now, whenever any employee is going to enter and select the maternity leave, we definitely select the days. He will enter the days, na? For 3 months or 2 months leave, she is going. So she will enter the days. The value means she will enter almost, I think, 8 days for a leave. Where she will enter in a days field. So that's why that database item is checked, and database item is basically going to be called in the formula. So every database, and once it coming to the formula side, we can tell to the system that based on this database item, you can check days which is already been entered. Or for example, if now if the database item I check there and even not check, it will, for example, if hours are coming, for example, so I will say in the formula that this database item we are capturing and we need the hours from this database item. So that's why I'm just checking now. Even if you will not check, because these are future one, future two, as I mentioned last time, we creating these for the safe side. Future, for example, if we want to add more information or we have another things happen, change, setup change or business policy change, something like that, so we can do that. Even on that time, when, for example, if we didn't check right now and we want to check later in later stage, we can do it. That is not a big issue. So once that topic will come, on that time you will be in a good position to understand these, because now element input values, these are basically coming to use in the formula as well. Okay, so on that time you will be in very good position. So I just created that now, this maternity leave which we created as a recurring. Now I want to add it to, you can say, into the element screen. Again, I will attach with the monthly payroll. I'm going to save it. So now my all four, not all, four leave element types, element links created. So what we have done these three parts. We create the tree and leave elements. With one is the element annual leave, maternity leave, paternity leave, and marriage leave. And now we are going to do the absence type part. So from today, I will show you from where you can create the absence type. We will come to the same, we will stay on the same menu, and we just scroll down and we will find the absence types. function. Once we click on that function, you can see our, you can say, the all the leave type screens. Okay, so here what we have to do, I want to just click F11. I want to just show you maybe 1, 2, 3 leaves are already being created. Let me give you some idea about this screen. You can see here that these leaves are created by the name of compassionate leave. The category is basically family leave. That is basically, again, you can you have no idea that the yellow field are mandatory, so you have to be focused on that. So the category are also important when we have to see those leaves in the service. So keeping in mind, when we are creating those leave types here and we are doing the absence setup, that will automatically will call in self-service module. But for that, we have to create the request. Basically, the personal analysis key facts will use. Once that topic will come, we will work on. So these are basically, you can say, the categories. Category means, is basically that most of the leaves have some, you can say, attachment. As you see, the sick leave will fall under the sick leave category, because category is a part of a catalog, you can say. So what we are trying to say to the system, that sick leave is part of a sick leave category. So these categories, basically, we also can add them manually as well, as per our understanding. Because in different organization now, people have their different categories, and based on different categories, now you can see here, once we click on this category, sick leave, you can see the category is a sick leave, type is also sick leave, and you see here the reason. There is another part which is reason. Reason is that this sick leave is on which based the employee is going on sick leave. Is this sick leave related to back problem, broken bone, other parts? There are different types. You can see cold, influenza, migraine. So these are the types, basically reasons, you can say, are related to the sick leave category, and it's also part of the sick leave. So what we do, we will create those leaves types, which we created the elements here. Even the next step, you can see allow absence overlap. So what is here? It is no. Overlap means that in few organization, when we apply for a leave, and every leave mostly have accrual plans. Okay, so based on the accrual plans, what happens, it's checking that, for example, the type means the limit for and sick leave in a month is not more than 3 days. Okay, for example. So once anybody is going to apply more than 3 days, he will try to enter 5 days. Okay, and in his balance there is a limit of 3 in a month. Okay, and in a year it will be definitely more. 3 into 12, it will be
36.
You can say 12, 36. Yeah, 36. 3 into 12, it will be 36. So 36 annual, for example, is sick leave can apply. So what will happen? But in a month, he can apply 3 days. So if anybody is going to apply for 5 sick days, write down 5, and we check this allow absence overlap no. So what will happen? System will show the caution warning over there. Okay, as a pop-up, and it will say if you will apply 5, you will get negative balance. Negative balance means in that month he has the limit to apply only 3 and he's trying to apply 5. So what will happen in the accrual screen? When it will come into the accrual screen, it will show there in a negative. -2 will be negative of that. And if we will try, will want to give him absence allow overlap, yes, then it will not show the quotient or the warning, but it will also come into the negative. But here the option is that only intimating to the employee that if you are applying 5 sick leaves in a month, you will get the accrual balance will be out, and that accrual balance will automatically will be correct when you can, for example, for in May or in June, he definitely may be not apply for sick leave, and on that time when you will see the accrual plan, it will automatically will come in plus, because you try to understand, in April it is 3 days, May he didn't apply, so that 3 days, 2 days or 3 days which is he didn't apply was there in accrual. In June even he didn't apply, so 3 days balance of accrual of June is also. So when you will see the accrual in June, you will see no negative, you will see the positive balance of over there. Inshallah, once I will go there, we will you will get better picture on that time.
Okay, sir.
Now here you can see the sick leave is going to be attached with the element. So basically they didn't attach it, but whatever the leaves we will create for our, we will do that attached there. So here you can see the hours, days and nuns. Now you can understand the input value. You will see here the input values which we want to require for those elements will be days or hours.
Okay.
You get my point?
Yes, sir.
Because input values we created the hours and days, na?
Yes.
And leaves are basically related to days, and based on hours it comes to calculate the days. So hours are coming when we have capturing the information from Oracle time and labor, because you know that on that time the people workers are working on hours basis. In a week he work 40 hours, okay, total. So in a he will work 7-8 hours, okay. So the hours will come here as a 8, and we will do some calculation in the formula, and based on that those 8 hours will be equivalent to a 1 day. Okay, so that is basically logic from coming from Oracle time and labor and days. We are entering that days in our system. So once we will select the element, it will ask me in which input value you want to enter. Now you will get more better idea. Once I will come to that type, you will see we will select the marriage leave, for example, and we will select the marriage element. Then what we will select days input value.
Yes.
Because this is the element and this is the input. So this is the basically whole screen and the understanding of the absence type. In the balance, basically most of the organization want to do the balance increasing and do the sometime decreasing. So increasing is really used, but decreasing is something because, for example, sick leave, the total sick leave can be applied not more than 50 days, for example. So what will happen if I am apply a sick leave 5 days? So what will a decreasing balance? 15 minus 5, 10. You get my point?
Yes.
So on that time, system want to show 10 balance, not going to be increased as a 20.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes it's organization do that, but mostly it is be a decreasing option. So this is the understanding. Even you want to know a more information, I told you last time as well, you just click on the help and you can understand all those defining an absence type, setting up the absence management, all those help is already there. So you will be in more better good condition to understand all these kind of things by studying all these things. Okay, so it will be very helpful for you that you can do these kind of things by yourself, and you search those things uh, by the help as well. When you click on the content, you can search all other things. Setting up absence management is there, so you automatically have an item, will get more information in detail. And on that time, once you will study by yourself and you will ask the things, then you will be in very good position. So the pay element entry F is basically a table name. So here the setup of proration and retro notification is another topic that will come in, you can say, in the payroll section side. But these two are very, very important topics related to the payroll.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so that you can study by yourself, and you can see here the defining and linking an absence element. See, and based on that, what will be the calculation, writing formula to calculate absence duration. So these all things, once you will just see one by yourself, you will be in good position, and you will understand those things very well. So you see here BG absence duration,
Okay.
which we discussed, because we are creating the formula for BG absence. In the BG absence, once we create that, we what the formula, in formula what will be the input. So once that time will come, we will discuss it. Here I do not want to go to mix up those things.
Okay, sir.
So here we just yes, please.
No, sir. I have no question.
Okay, so let me create one annual leave type. Basically, now it is absence type, which we are creating now. Annual leave. Let me tell it is vacation, the category. Okay, I want to make it overlap, same thing. I want to create 1st April 2021. uh, Again here, the mistake, basically what we are doing, as we discussed, that we will create the uh, uh, leave types from 1st January, because the whole year you have to understand these things, because these are very important things.
Mhm.
If we are going to start from 1st April, that is all also depend on the business, when the business is going to be go live, when the things are how the things were going on. But standardly, as a consultant and as a handle to the whole year period, it
Yes.
is very important. Because now the thing is, if we will start from 1st April 2021, that is fine, we can do it. But what we have to do on that time, we definitely, the system is already been there for last 5 years or 10 years. The company is running their internal business and with any other third party software, and they have the data. So what we will do, we will tell them, okay, give us the annual leave from effect from 1st January till 31st March.
Okay.
So what we have to do, we will check that how many on that time. What we will do, we will see, okay, Mr. Ashtiaq have a total 20 days entitlement, okay, in a year, okay, and then he applied, maybe he availed 2 days in January, he availed 1 day in March. So 20 minus 3, how much? 17.
17.
So the 17 entitlement we have to be captured as a means in the system as a adjustment, you can say, as the another element we have to adjust them. Because now what will be the entitlement, because in we have now the system in Oracle we will capturing from 1st April. So we will entitle 17 and we will say that the total 3 days will be already availed. So we will enter those annual leave in a new element which will be availed. So based on that, the net entitlement will come correct. Otherwise, the net entitlement will not come correct. So these kind of the things which we done in practical projects, I'm telling you based on that. So we have to be also be make sure that when we are set up the system, as I described you, that we can handle those things in a both way. But in this, on this date, what will happen? We have to do the work more to capture the exact information.
Yes.
Otherwise, the employee balance will not match.
Yes.
I hope you get an
Yes,
complete
I
understanding on
got this
this.
point, your point.
Yeah. Okay, so let us create now, select the annual leave element which we created basically. And you see here, this element may be proceed by the payroll run continue. So we want to run it in the payroll because the annual leave is basically have some, you can, annual leave is a very important because in annual leave we want to see that how many leaves it's availed, how many is remaining, if employee left, what will be the encashment, what will be the accrual balance. Based on things, everything is going to be processed in a payroll, then we can see it. Na? Otherwise, we cannot get those things accurately. So in the input value of that element, you see, now the same input screen comes in front of us where
Yes.
we created those input values for that element. So now you will get a better picture automatically that how it is doing. So now you see, once we select input value, it automatically change into days.
Okay.
Right? So the reason in annual leave, almost there is no such kind of lever means reason, but it's all the reasons are basically opened. That's why it's coming under the vacation category or other things. So rest, if we want to say a family leave or those kind of things, we want to based on that we can do that. Let me save this first leave type. Please select in. Oh, okay. So let us do the increasing balance. Let us let me see in the screen. I think we captured this information. So I don't think so we have captured this. Yeah. But let me, if I'm not wrong, it is in annual leave. Basically, I think it is increasing. uh, I think we didn't capture this information. Anyhow, no problem. Let us do the increase. Okay. Let me save this leave type. Okay. Let me close this now. Let me just show you just a while in the employee record. So you will see that how that leave is going to be appear in the absence and how we can capture that an annual leave. So far that leave type will appear. Keep it in mind. Only the leave type will appear. It will not, you can say, any duration or do any calculation. For that, we have to create a accrual plan. We have to define the payroll, and being the payroll, we have to mention that this will be the type, and based on that, system will start the calculation. So that I will try to do it, but in in the test instance, mostly things will not work as per our under scenarios, because you saw that last time we tried to work on that security profile, and I send you that you can say the
Screenshot.
topic from Oracle support,
Hmm.
that there was a patch need to be applied. So based on that, these kind of things happen. Last time, you remember, when we click on this, you only saw 3 leaves here. Remember?
Yes, sir.
If I'm not wrong. So now you saw that we created the leave type annual leave. So now you can see a list here. So this is the list basically where you can see the category, you can say here. So what will be the time date? The employee will enter the date from 15th APR 21. Okay, so he click tab, and then he tried to apply 16 APR 21. Okay, so once he click on this tab, here basically the days need to come 2 days. I will show you how. This is basically need to be do in the formula, basically 15th and 16th. 15th and 16th. One is Thursday, one is Friday. Both are the working days. So 2 days need to be appear here. So this is basically the whole logic. And you can see here the annual leave, running total showing 0, everything is 0. The reason is why? Because we didn't complete the setup yet. Okay. But again, I will go through with the whole all setups, and based on that we will try to see that it will appear or not, but I will go through with the complete setup. Let us try to select the sick leave, and let's see what will be the for example, apply the sick leave from April 21, and sick leave we try to 13 APR 21. Once you click tab, here it is not coming, it is applying also manually, I think, but you
Sir,
see that in our case. Yeah.
sir, this calculate duration. If you click on this button, then
No, no, it will not work. It will
okay,
not work. It
okay,
will only and only works once we do the setup related to, you can say, as we want to do it. Okay.
okay.
So this is basically the main understanding. The thing is, you have to understand the navigation, you have to understand the concept, you have to understand how we are going to create the absence setup. For the absence setup, basically we want to create the elements, we want to link it, we want to attach it with the employee, and based on that we can create the leaves. If you see here, again I want to show you one thing, because once we attach that element, annual leave, you can say the with the element link, in the element link screen, you saw that we attach it with the payroll. So where the payroll is coming, payroll is going to come in the assignment screen, and you will see the payroll name here in the assignment. See, monthly payroll.
Yes.
You get my point? Because this is the whole hierarchy, the linking of those elements. And based on that, in entries, once we click on entries, I will click on here, and those all elements will come here. will come here. This is now related to, you can say, recurring, because the social insurance, monthly salary. So this is again the part of, you could say, it's a payroll. I'm not going to want to come here now. So, but I want to show you this section, monthly payroll, so you can get more better idea and clear the concept about the element link. So now we are going to, I'm going to show you how we are going to create the accrual plan. Accrual plan is also an important point and the functionality in the absence, in which basically it's going to be handled all those things. This is the accrual plan screen. And this accrual plan screen, in which we will say CCL accrual plan. This will be our accrual plan name. Okay, we can write down this, we can write down direct accrual, but we want to be make sure that we are using the naming conventions. Accrual category will be vacation, because annual leave is basically a vacation. Okay, so there are other categories as well. We are just going to create the accrual plan only for, you can say, for the annual leave, and we are using the accrual units, days. So before creating an accrual plan, these formulas basically also need to be created. I just want to open to show you so you can get a better idea. But we have to create that accrual formula as well, and we will create them, but it will be in second part. So let me try to search any predefined formula so far, and later on we will go for that. So these are basically, once we create an accrual plan, okay, and we save it, these formulas, predefined formulas, basically created by themselves. So I don't want to select this one. We have to create our own formulas, but I'm just going to show you that these are the basically payroll, carryover, rolling over. All these formulas have their own logics. And once we create one plan, based on the plan, those formulas created itself. So let me create an absence. See, absence information. I select and it comes an annual leaves. So I want to select as a day again, because in the unit it will show me the days. Okay, and balance, payroll balance reset date is not no date. I want to don't want to start from any reset. I don't want to reset my balance. Basically, remember, this is the balance basically when we are capturing some annual leaves informations. For example, as we mentioned that Ishtiaq Abbasi have 20 days balance entitlement, and he availed 10 annual leaves in 2021. Rest, uh, if we will click on no balance, means in next year his all remaining balance will be zero. So these are the terminology things is going to be used on 1st January. It will be null, 1st June. So it's beyond the different employees balance business on strategy. What are their internal policies? So based on that, it will work. In net calculation rules, it will not go there. But let me try, because once we will save this, then it will allow me to click on, see, to go to the next screen. So before that, going into the accrual, let us go to, I think it will become very lengthy topic for you if I will start formula now. So what's your plan? Should I start the formula as well, or we wait this section in the time of the payroll? Because it will be very important that you must have a very good concept of formulas, and based on those formulas we have to be make sure that once we will create those formulas, then we will complete this accrual plan. But as far you can see right now, almost 70 to 75% of the absence setup we have completed,
Yes.
because this is the core, basically the core, you can say, the logic and the exact project based, implementation based points which we discussed and we worked on. And what we can do that, we already done all these four parts which are the core, and you see yourself that it is now how we create an element. How are basically the element which is the part of the payroll we already covered, but definitely will cover in the payroll section as well. Once we need other allowances and earnings and deductions elements, basically, which is part of the payroll. And then you also see that we created the element for set the element for the absence type, and we did that successfully. But now the only part is the accrual. Accrual is basically the thing where it's handling is basically what accrual is doing. Accrual is doing, in a simple example, that I have 20 days entitlement leave for the year. Okay, I await 2 days in a month, 3 days in a month, so 4 days in a month. So it will be 5 and 4, it will be 9 annual leaves I availed in 2021. So now my what will be my accrual. My accrual balance will be on that time. It will be, you can say, 20 after -9, it will be 11. But accrual is also showing on a monthly basis. So for example, if my leave is 20, okay, let me give you an example over here as well. I think I have that logic written over here. Let me give me 1 second. Let me show you that part as well, so we can do complete understand the whole thing. I'm just going to give you what's okay. Accrual, yeah, accrual, okay. Yeah, okay. So here you can see, my friend, that let me try to paste here. It will come. No, it is not coming. Okay, let me show here. So for example, if a person is entitled to 30 or 35 days, okay, and it what will be the accrual of that on a monthly basis? So what we will do divide, do the calculation. What we do, for example, 30 days is the entitlement leave divided by the 365, multiply by month days. Okay. And you will get your current month's accrual. For example, let me do over in here in front of you so you can get an idea. So in calculation, you can see that the person is entitled to 30 entitlement in a year.
Okay.
So what system will do? System will, and we want to see that what will be the per month leave he can apply. So that will be the accrual divided by the whole year. Okay. 365 or sometimes 366 as well. Multiply by the month days. In a month, we for example, we are in April, so multiply by 30. So in 30, in April, he can avail maximum 2.5.
Okay.
So that will be the accrual days of that month. Again, if we want to check in 31st days, multiply divided by 365. Okay, the total and multiply by, for example, 30.
Sir, can we say
31. So it, yeah.
Sir, can we say it proration on monthly leave?
Proration will be the different thing. It can be a proration, but it is not that the topic which the proration is a different thing.
Okay.
Proration is a different, you can say the logic, but you are talking about, I think, the pro rata word, if I'm not wrong. Because proration is a different, that is different topic. Okay. And the logic is different. As I described you last time, the proration is that any person who is hired on any 11th or 15th or 10th of the month for in an organization. So based on that, it will be calculate his leave and accrual also based on his proration. It will come on that time as well. Because you see, so in for example, in a month of April, the person hired, you can say on 11th April. Okay, hiring date is 11th April. And so if we will want to see the accrual of that employee or in that month, that will be different, because it will not multiply with the 30 days. It will multiply with the 19 days.
Yes. Okay, I got it, sir.
Get it, na? So it depends on that thing. It will be a prorated. But I am just trying to show you that how accrual is worked. So what will be the logic and what will be the formula calculation used to handle all these kind of things. For example, these are the two formulas which we will create. Okay, and based on that, once we create it, now here I just want to show you here so you can get an idea. See here, it is getting an year, whole year date. See, calculation date, year, DDMMYY. Okay, if accrual term, current and effective less than calculation date, then effective date, add years. These are the normal, basically in formula, fast formula. Basically, it is checking the logic, and it use the simple English, but you have a little bit concept about it, that how much it will work. And even it is showing here, saying here maximum carryover. So you remember we discussed that in a year, for an example, if an employee have 10 remaining balance of that year, it will move 10 to the next year, because here it is showing 25, means maximum 25 can be moved
Move to next year.
if
Okay.
any employees have. But we already checked here that it must move maximum carryover 25. If anybody have less than that, it will move to the next year. And that is accrual process. Basically, it runs on a yearly basis. That we will go to that section as well. It is just we want to click on view, we want to click on request, and then what we have to run on a monthly basis. This is basically a concurrent program now. So this is again with the topic to topic, it comes automatically, but you will be in very good position. So whenever we have to run any program, we want to run any request, we click on view and we can submit a request. Based on that, we will select the programs in this concurrent screen. So here PTO carryover is the this one. See, PTO carryover. So this is the standard program, you can see. So what here, what it will say, okay, with effect from this date, which accrual plan you want to run, which accrual you want to process. So here, so far, no accrual plan is there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If you see, there is no accrual plan. So once we will create the accrual plan, it will automatically appears here because it's picking the information from that table and it will come here. So why it is not coming? Because so far there is no accrual plan in the system. Yes. So we will so reprocess all participants. I want to reprocess all the participants. I say no. I want to say yes, it's all this. So here you can see the accrual carryover plan. It's saying current month or previous. So accrual terms is basically checking previous. We want to move previous into the current month. So we will select previous. These are just those things which we can do process on a yearly basis. On the next year, for example, in January, mid of January, or in first week of January, we have to perform this activity because last year balance need to be shown into the current year. So based on that, last month you have 10 remaining balance, and in this 2022 you have 25. So 25 plus 10, it will show you 35 in your accrual screen. So that is the whole picture, all things of the setup of our absence management. Okay. And once inshallah we will complete the, you can say, start the payroll, we will complete this section inshallah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, inshallah. So this is the whole complete topic related to the absence management. And now we will try our level best to start from the self-service. And if one more thing, do one thing, you can close this, save this video as well, close it.
Okay, sir.
Because I want to